Okay, we are doing the recording now. Okay, hello, Vishnu. Just wait for a while. Just wait for, I think it's very noisy outside. Okay, I'm sorry for the noisy neighbors. Okay, first thing I'll do is I will download the attendance first. Okay, attendance downloaded already. So today we're going to do a few chapters, right? So the first one is yesterday, no, sorry, the other last lesson we finished the topic 3. So now we're going to do topic 4, which is talk about the internal assessment. So these are the 6 items. Okay, so we do the first one. What is the internal audit? Okay, so internal audit is basically strength and weakness. Okay, understanding your internal strength and weakness, different from the topic number 3, which is external audit, which is talking about opportunity and threats. So how do you want to go about doing that? Identify what an organization does well, identify when organization needs improvement, informed decision can be made about strategy and goals. Okay, so hang on. We are sharing and we are recording. Just want to confirm. Okay, so it's all right. So then let's continue. Look at how well the various departments and teams inside the company are working. Are they working well together? So we will evaluate based on efficiency, leadership, and the use of technology by the company. So if you do it very well, okay, you can help the organization to grow or you can save costs. Okay, so let's look at the infographic. What does it mean? Internal analysis. Examining your organization core competency today, they are influenced by internal factors. These factors are not driven by external market but rather by your own organization. So your own organization, internal weakness and internal strength. So when you're doing this one, please be honest, okay, about your strength and weakness. Okay. So let's look at the video. Okay, so this video is internal analysis, the competitive edge. So this is you can go there and look at it if you just open hyperlink. But I've got a transcript for you. The transcript explains how business can examine their internal strength to get a competitive edge. So which comes first? You want to look at the strength first or you want to look at weakness? So the correct answer is you look at both. But which action you should take first? Most likely you take first on your strength. It's easier to build onto your strength than to overcome your weakness. Because your weakness comes about because you're not strong in certain things. So because you're not strong in certain things, it becomes your weakness, and therefore sometimes the weakness feed upon itself. Okay, but strengths you already have it's easy to build on strength, right? Than to build on to overcome your weakness. So for example, let's say you are the athlete. Okay, sorry, let me on my camera. Let's say for example you are an athlete, right? So what does the athlete do? So let's say for example he's good strength, he's run very well. Weakness, he cannot swim so well. So the best chance for him to get a medal is to run some more and don't go into competition for swimming. So based on that sort of logic, okay? So you should look to do your strength first. So you need to identify your resources, capability, and your core competency so that you can do leveraging. So what do you mean by leveraging? Take advantage of, make use of. Okay, so these are the strengths that you have, and sometimes your competitor may have the same strength, or they may have other strengths. Now, a good thing to remember is your strength, not necessarily your competitor weakness. They also got the same strength. Yeah, especially both of you are fighting the same, you are in the same market share. Okay? So you need to recognize the valuable resources that are rare and difficult to competitors to imitate. For example, your strength may be, you may have some sort of patent, you have some sort of technology, you got some type of people working for you, the experts working for you. The other people, their competitor cannot have. So this is a good strength and you should leverage on it. Okay, so you have a field framework, value, reality, immutability, and organization. So let's look at the resources. Okay, let's say, for example, is this particular patent, is it rare? Yes, that's good. Okay, it has got a great value. No other people have this patent. So a good value, it is rare. Other people cannot come out the same pattern easily. It's not easy to copy by others. And organization. Your organization is strong enough to make use of this patent. Okay, so we call it a VRIO. Resources that is at least have 3, best to have 4, is a good resource. If your resource is only got 1 or 2 out of 4, not so strong resource. Okay, so understanding which resources that you have can help you to, okay, after you identify it, can help you to go and strike a get an advantage over your competitor. So self-check question 4.1. Evaluate whether organization internal expansion can reveal both its strength and weakness by analyzing its resource capability and operations. Okay, so if you look at your resources, your capability, and your operations at each of the things that you want to check, then can your internal assessment help you to identify these resources, these capabilities? Okay, if they can identify for you, then it is a good process in internal auditing. Okay, so how do you evaluate? So let's look at 4.1. So at the bottom, same. It will help you to identify your strength and weakness. You will focus on your key success areas. What are the key success areas? Those areas that you got a lot of strength. Okay. Next, inform this strategic decision. So by looking at the, for example, if you're looking at the SWOT analysis, right, and you can identify the strength and weakness, and you are being focused on those that is the strength area, then it will help you in making decision. Okay, very simple logic. So what I want you to do right now, I want you to think for yourself and how to explain how an internal assessment guide your organization in leveraging its strength and its analyzing resources, capability, and teamwork efficiency for strategic decision making. Okay, so let's say, for example, why don't you do an internal assessment of your company? What are the strengths and the weakness? And when you identify your strength and weakness, does it help you when you do such identification, especially when you identify your strengths? Does it help you to use your resources better? Does it give you a competitive edge? The answer should be yes. If its answer is no, there's something wrong with your analysis, or something wrong with your company. Now, companies do not need to have 100 strengths, right? You may only want to concentrate on the few important strengths because you need to put your resources in those few important strengths. After you have done your strength already, you will still got extra time, got extra effort, you can try to look at your weaknesses. Now, sometimes weaknesses can be taken away 100%, eliminate. Sometimes cannot. Okay. One good way of eliminating weakness is, for example, you can subcon out. Subcon out your weakness. Let somebody else know how to do better. Let's say, for example, you have a weakness in your transportation. or finished goods, subcontract the transportation. That's all. Okay. Now let's look at 4.2. Now I want to introduce one factor that's called the internal factor evaluation. Okay. Now, used to evaluate the strength and weaknesses. This is the tool. How to do that? There's a video for you to watch. How to use the internal factors after conducting a SWOT. So after you finish a SWOT already, you may want to do a IFE, we call it. Okay. So the IFE give you a scoring point. And you can follow this scoring point to find where is your weakness and where is the strength, the most important one. I encourage you to look at the video. Okay. So evaluate the importance of using the IFE. Okay. So let's look at the answer. 4.2. How does the IFE tool help you do that? First, they help you to organize your key internal factors. What internal factors that you have, they organize for you. Then I want you then these two will measure the strength and weaknesses by using weights and rating. So it's basically the same method as the chapter 3, using weights and rating under the CPM. Okay. So then it helps you to guide improvement efforts because you're focusing on strengthening weak areas and also leveraging your strength to improve performance in your strong area. Okay. So what I want you to do for 4.2. So what I want you to do for 4.2, examine the effectiveness of internal factor evaluation. Okay. You can see from the video, because the video in internal factor evaluation. So you can use this video. Okay. So the important thing about using this IFE is because they have a scoring system, the factors that you have. Okay. So what are the factors? The factors is all the individual strength and weaknesses. Each strength or each weaknesses will be a factor. Now don't use 100 factors, but because normal companies will use maybe about five factors for strength, 5 factors for weaknesses. Okay, because you don't have enough resources anyway. You do for so many things to handle. If your resources is very limited, concentrate on your strength first. Okay, put your resources on your strength instead of putting your resources on your weakness. Okay, now integrating means involving, I think, put in strategy and culture. How do you integrate strategy into culture? Now, why culture is important? Like I say, we may be operating in different type of cultures. Okay, if you are multinational and global, obviously there will be different cultures, right? So you need to adapt your strategy based on the culture. Okay, let's say for example in America, they got Valentine's Day culture. They got Christmas Eve culture. You go to a Muslim country, there's no such culture. In Muslim, maybe they have the Haji culture. Okay, maybe they have the fasting month culture. So your strategy should be adaptable based on various cultures or various society norms or various stages of economic development. Let's say if you are dealing with one country is very well developed, compared with another country which is lesser developed or underdeveloped, your culture will be different. Okay, the culture will be different. The underlying factors are moving and it's different, right? So therefore, your strategy should be adjusted. Okay, let's say for example, if you are Coca-Cola, okay, you may do a lot of advertisement, okay, in a Korean song, if your strategy is for the Korean market, right? But if you are selling Coca-Cola in India, maybe it's a different type of strategy. Your marketing strategy may be different. Okay, maybe Indian sauce, for example. Okay? So you need to integrate, incorporating the organizational culture and leads to successful. Now, this is also, beside this culture, there's another culture which is the organization culture. The organization culture may be top down or bottom up or matrix organization structure. So you need to consider your strategy suitable for which type of culture. Let's say, for example, your company is top down. So the strategy will be the boss will lay down everything, the rest of us offer. Okay. Now, if you are looking at the organization, it's a bottom-up culture. So the strategy will come from the bottom. And these are the people who are going to make their noise known or the strategy known, and for upper management to consider and to implement. Okay. Now, failure to integrate strategy and culture can lead to a conflict and resistance for employees, from customers. Okay. So that's not very good. So connection between strategy and culture. 4 actions for mastering the connection. First, start in the right place by understanding the current link between your company's strategy and culture. Next, create a common language for using your strategy and culture. Third, explore the potential of culture by learning about mindsets of the people there. Understand the expectation of strategy and communicate it in the way that everybody understands. So sometimes if you make a strategy that people don't understand the reason behind such a strategy, you will face people don't want to do it. So that's a big issue. Okay. Now I want you to look at a video, organization culture in multinational corporations. Multinational. Okay. Multinational organizations face different organization structures across various type of countries. So it becomes more confusing or more complicated. Okay. So when you're doing multinational business, your strategy cannot be the same overall strategy. Cannot use for every country. You need to adapt. Adapt a little bit here, adapt a little bit here, adjust a little bit here, adjust a little bit. Okay. So therefore you try to follow the society that you are doing business in. Okay. Now, you must also balance your corporate identity with the local culture of the countries they operate in. Now, what does that mean? What is a global corporate identity? Okay, let's look at Starbucks. What is the corporate identity? Coffee. Very nice environment. Coffee beans imported from very expensive coffee beans are being imported. Okay, so that's a corporate identity. So let's look at the local cultures. So therefore, Starbucks will only sell in towns or cities that have a rich population, because they're going to be expensive. It's good coffee, but it's going to be expensive. Okay, so that's how they identify themselves. So where are the rich people? So in Malaysia, maybe the rich people are all walking in the malls. So Starbucks is always at the malls or a rich neighborhood. Okay, so now let's look at another one. Let's say, for example, now Starbucks, the corporate identity is coffee, okay, expensive. Now they're going to sell it in Africa. Now, some countries in Africa, no money. So maybe Starbucks cannot have so many branches. Okay, cannot have so many branches. So they cannot be that expensive. Or therefore, maybe Starbucks will not open Starbucks in Africa. They may join venture with the local people at their own local people brand by using Starbucks formula or marketing tactics or production tactics and so forth. No, will be under a local brand name, not Starbucks name. Okay, so depending on the culture and the environment, evaluate organization culture, alignment with the strategic objective. So let's look at 4.3. Really, how well organization culture aligns with the strategy objective. If we use IFE, it helps together analyze key factors like resource and so forth. And it gives you a clear picture what it does well and what needs improvement on the business side. Okay. Now it can rank because you got, for example, let's say you got 5 strengths, you got 5 businesses. So you rank which one is the most greatest strength. So you take advantage of the one with the greatest strength. Okay. Or this is a greater business, maybe you want to tackle the greatest business instead of tackle the not so important business. Okay. So it supports strategic planning. So under this 4.3, what I want you to do, discuss how shared value and behavior influence employee commitment to common goals. So within one society, they have certain shared value one. Okay, let's say for example, in a Muslim society, there are certain shared values. You must go for prayers 5 times a day. This is a shared value or religious requirement. Right? They must fasting for 1 month. So if that's the case, okay, if you're going to have to pray for 5 times so a day, so the company will set up surah in the workplace for them to pray. But in America, they are not going to do that. Okay, in America, many companies are Christian-based companies, so they don't have surah to pray 5 days. Okay, so in the US, one of the share value is, for example, to sell flowers, to give flowers in Valentine's Day. Right? So in Valentine's Day, there's a share value. So if you are a company that's selling roses, you better align your strategies based on this thing. Okay? So now, inter-department analysis and function. First thing I want to say, what are the departments? Okay, marketing, sales, purchasing, warehousing, production, quality assurance, finished goods, R&D, accounting, right, HR, many general affairs, administration. First thing you need to know, all these departments can be separated out. If you're having a lot of problems with the inter-department conflict, you can decide to subcon one another to reduce the conflict. And why do you need to subcon out? Because sometimes with outside people, subcontractors can do a better job than you can. Okay, but having said that, you may still have some departments, and therefore you need to analyze that because sometimes they got conflict. Okay, they got conflict. For example, purchasing department buy very cheap raw material because the department say they want to save money for a company. If they save production, use the not so good quality product, there will be a lot of spoil. So then we blame the production department. Why you have a lot of spoilage? Production department will come to purchasing. Purchasing manager buy the lousy raw materials. Purchasing manager say, oh, I got buy cheap material to help the company. It's you, the production. They must train your people to not spoil the raw materials. So there's always a ding dong within departments for resources or causing blame, causing blame. Like for example, marketing is selling to everybody. Accounting cannot collect the money because the people run away, customer run away, right? So there is another conflict. Accounting cannot collect money, marketing already get the commission already. So marketing don't care so much whether can collect money. You just want the commission. So that's why there's a conflict. And because of this kind of conflict, it's not that easy to resolve. Somebody must be higher enough to understand a full story and then try to resolve it to the certification or at least partial certification of the department's concern. Okay, so we also need to analyze how they work together. So, like for example, purchasing must buy correct parts to the production team. HR must recruit the correct people so that the user department can use the people. So these are interfunctions. Accounting must collect the money. If accounting cannot collect the money, then how they going to get the money for purchasing to buy raw materials? Okay? So all these are interdependent. Like logistics. Logistics must get the lorries ready when the production finish. Okay? So if logistics come too early, they wait. If logistics come too late, the production quantity is just sitting there. So there's a lot of interdepending functions. They are related. We try to make them moving, all the departments moving with the same vision or long-term goals. Yeah, so that's important. This picture just show, for example, this one person is one department. They got different needs, different goals, right? And sometimes they are not talking to each other, or sometimes they even quarrel with each other, you know, creating blame. So you have to be careful on that. Okay. So in your internal assessment, you need to check is the departments among themselves working well. Okay. So let's look at the video. It's a chat. I don't know whether you're familiar with chat. Chat means a lot of people give talk. This the knowledgeable people, expert people give talk. Sometimes it's good to see some of the videos. So for example, this video is cultivating collaboration. So don't be so defensive when people stay with. So this is the source, and we got a transcription about it. So this video say how to cultivate or get collaboration, let's say between departments. First thing is go, Department A should not blame Department B. Department B should not blame Department C, and Department C should not blame Department. Let's get the facts correctly, and then we see how we can improve. Okay. So we look at the self-check. Evaluate the significance of interdepartment collaboration. Yeah, let me tell you straight away, it's very, very important one, very significant one. Because if you want the people in the department, in the various department, which have their own goals and objectives, to at least collaborating or cooperating or working together as a team to observe, to get the company goals and missions and vision and also the plan. So if some of them are not collaborating or not collaborating, then we have, let's say the production is waiting for the raw material, warehouse is not cooperating, is delaying the delivery of the goods. Therefore, production cannot produce on time. So there must be a lot of operation. Okay. So what I want you to do is analyze how effective leads to a better decision. How analyze how effective collaboration leads to better decision making and problem solving. Okay, first, we can give an example. Okay, when something is not very clear, some some problem is in between department. Let's say, for example, it can be a HR department or production. This problem is not 100% HR and not 100% production. It's somewhere in the center. So you have to bring the party together and then come out mutual agreeable solution. That's what it is. Okay. Sometimes it's very clear. This problem is not HR, HR solve. But sometimes there are problems that start from another department but arise from another. Okay. Two different departments. So you have to be very careful about this kind of thing. So you need to do the internal assessment. Okay, next one, before we go to R&D, let me first tell you first. You may have a lot of strengths and you may have a lot of weaknesses. You also got a lot of opportunities. You use the strength for those good opportunities. What if you don't have strengths for those opportunities? You're in the wrong business. The company is not just good. So let's say, for example, now there's an opportunity. Electric car is a good opportunity because the government want to help in the climate change problems. To solve climate change problems, the government wants to go. That's a good opportunity for people who can make incomes. But your company know how to make mineral water. So you don't have the resources to make EV. You know there's an opportunity, your strength doesn't match, the opportunity is not. So you have to look for opportunity that you can use your strength. So which one comes first? Better identify all the various opportunities. Then see your strength. If you want to use your strength to identify the opportunity, maybe not so good. Because your strength may not be enough. Your competitor also got strength enough. Don't think you're the only one with strength. Your competitor also got strength. So your competitor and you are same facing the market, the same market opportunity. Let's say for example, Honda. The competitor is Toyota. Another competitor is Mazda. Opportunity is electrical vehicles. The problem, all of us with a certain strength in making cars. So that opportunity in electric car, that opportunity is available for you. Now we look at the internal. Is Toyota internal more powerful than the Mazda internal, or is it weaker than Honda? So which one has got the biggest strength to take care of this opportunity will be the family. If your strength doesn't even come for that opportunity, don't do something. Other people will. Okay? So sometimes there is a new opportunity and you don't have the strength. Worst case scenario, you change your business. Let's say, for example, now you're doing mineral water, and so many people are making mineral water. Just very competition. There's an opportunity for electric vehicle. If you can get the resource, fine. If you cannot get, you never go into electric vehicle. Then what will the current business? So your current business is mineral water. Okay, so you still got strength inside there. Maybe you need to reduce your business to be more competitive against your competitor. That's where last chapter, the CPM, competitive profile method. Okay, that is very important for you. And from there you can match. Okay, so there are a few tools. Sometimes the tools are interlinked with each other. Okay, so here is this one, which is R&D. Now, actually, the word R&D is not a very good type of wording because research and development are different. So let's look at the types of research. There are basically few types of research. So let me look at it one by one. Basic research. You don't know what to do. You go to the jungle. You try to find some trees, try some flowers, some leaf, and whether this leaf, after you analyze whether it's good for medicine or not. This is called basic research. Okay? Basic research, you go to the jungle, you don't know what you're going to find. You just try to find something new. Okay? This one hard to do because you're going in blind. Next, here comes the applied research. Okay, so from basic research, we found that this particular flower very good for cough. We apply the research. What type of cough? A cold cough, a warm cough, a cancerous cough? What type of cough? So we will apply that leaf to go through the various type of cough, which is good for you. So you may have a quantitative research in terms of numbers, who going to how many people are going to use this cough medicine, or qualitative research. Qualitative research means it's not based on numbers. It's like getting a group of people to discuss about this leaf, this type of cough. Is it good business? Then you do experimental research. You got to take the leaf, you chop it up. Okay, is it still okay? Or you grind it into a paste, is it okay? Or you make it into a pills, is it okay? So that's called experimental, which is the best way. And then now you go to your exploratory, send it out to sample out and see the result of the the case study. Okay, then you review what other people have done, whether other people have done already, so you don't need to redo again. So maybe somebody else have also found the same flower. They may have done all this already. So you need to review where is their pitfall so you can overcome it. Then you can do a case study, give it to, let's say, the Eastern Malaysia, one or two states, try out this medicine, and then you observe and sell. Now, these are all research. Now, when you talk about development, many people lump together the word research. Okay, development is a little bit different.